Good morning, Pride League. This is your boy Disabled Vigilantes coming at you, feeling a little bittersweet. It's kind of relaxed. Ain't got to worry about football for a minute now. Both the Houston Texans and your Disabled Vigilantes are safely out of the playoffs. Um, but that's just something I got to deal with. It's the holiday season, and where one man's misfortune may present itself, another man's opportunity may arise. So let's talk about the people that are relevant. Before we get really into it, let's see how we got to this moment of the playoffs. Last week, week 14, final week of the season, we had some people with do or die mode trying to be that top seven to get into the playoffs. How did it pan out? Let's check it out. We had Wubba Lubba Dub Dub going up against Disabled Vigilantes. 7-6 Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. 4-9 Disabled Vigilantes ain't playing for nothing. Who did I have winning this game? Disabled Vigilantes. And what happened? Disabled Vigilantes went and thrashed Wubba Lubba Dub Dub's hope of playoff future. I'm the ghost of playoff future, baby, and you got to get past me, son. It is what it is. We always take a little pride in derailing others here in the Disabled Vigilantes camp. Next, we had Agent Smith going up against those West Coast Giants. West Coast, another 7-6 team. Agent Smith safely in place of a playoff berth, more than likely, win or lose. I had West Coast Giants trying to supplant, but Agent Smith had other ideas. He was like, nah. Leave no doubt, as your boy Boone would say. We've got Bull City going up against Stacking Yards, and Bull City needed this win desperately. I picked Stacking Yards because I just didn't think there was any hope in hell that Bull City would take on Stack's team. But alas, I was wrong. That's two wrong for me so far. Stacking Yards gets that loss, and Bull City gives himself some hope. He still needs a few other teams to lose. Obviously Wubba Lubba Dub Dub's out. West Coast Giants didn't get the dub to put them a leg above any team in 500. He still needs just a one more game really to make this work. So Bull City gets the dub, giving a birth of hope. Next we have Griffey Case going against ADP. This game meant nothing, but ADP still gets the win. Now I'm 2 for 2, still trying to be above 500. But you know who, who knows how this will bet out, right? Then we had Hollywood Cole Brothers going up against Classy Strippers, and I had Hollywood winning this one. I was a coin flip because I first circled Classy and I was like, no, Hollywood's on a streak. His players are going crazy. I'm gonna go with Hollywood, and I was wrong. This is my make or break. Losing this matchup was my make or break probably for being 500. I kind of knew it. Classy Strippers doing some wondrous things on Monday Night Football to secure a victory, while Hollywood suffered a few injuries, probably moot. But Hollywood gets the loss, and so do I for my regular season picks. Classy Strippers securing definitely a spot above Hollywood, but will it be enough to garner any edge against Agent Smith? Probably not. So next we have the Boss going up against Dynasty Sage, and the Boss at 7-6 could not afford a loss. As I predicted, the Boss won this game, making Dynasty Sage a playoff dud. We've got Unfuckwittable going up against Dunder Mifflin, and I picked Dunder Mifflin to win this game, giving them the for sure playoff spot in this one. And this is what Bull City needed. They needed Unfuckwittable to get this dub, and guess what? Steam rolled. So in a nutshell, Bull City gets to squeak in after, I mean, there's just the odds of him getting in seem to be astronomical, and he still accomplished a goal. Bull City squeaking in at 500 has a chance to become a boom bombastic moneymaker, and that's all you could ask for. That's what throughout the entire season, people giving you, writing you off, and all of a sudden you do just enough to get. That's the beauty of fantasy football, I believe. It's just even some weeks you're down, some weeks you're out, and some weeks you just power drive, and next thing you know, you're in it to win it, baby. Congratulations to Bull City first and foremost. And speaking of Bull City, we've got a fantasy stud for you in week 14, none other than Bull City. Even if that man wouldn't have had the highest score, probably would have been fantasy stud for the week with all the odds that he had to overcome. And if you got a stud, you definitely got to have a dud. Griffey Cakes, he definitely mopped up, rounded out the bottom again. And, if we're looking at seasonally, the fantasy stud for the regular season is none other than Agent Smith. I mean, there's no coincidence that the man is in first place. He is a monster when it comes to weekly output. Fantasy stud of the regular season, none other than Agent Smith. And if you got an overall fantasy stud for the regular season, that means you gotta have a fantasy dud of the year, and that's none other than six-time awardee Griffey Cakes. And as a little saying that that most champions hate to have, right? It's like first to worst, first to worst. That's you, Griffey Cakes. First to worst. Fantasy dud of the year. I mean, it's you can't script it any better. But I have a feeling Griffey Cakes, being the phenomenal fantasy manager that he is, will be relevant in the 2023 season. All right. So, and then to top it off, 3 and 4 for the week of my picks, a grand total of 48 and 49 for the year. Ugh, just below 500. But let's have a good playoff. I think the playoff picks will probably be a little more interesting. I'm looking forward to that. I have a pretty decent playoff record as of late. It's only been one playoffs thus far, and I plan to continue that trend of being fairly right. Let's see. We got the fantasy stuff. Let's talk about the playoff facts for a second, right? On screen, you got your bombastic money makers of 2021. And obviously, Griffey Cakes isn't gonna repeat, so that first place spot, same prizes this year. Granted, the fourth year is probably going to be a little bit of doubling of that action, so you got some ground to make up. But your playoff teams, right? You got Agent Smith going up against nobody, and you got Bull City with a chance to become a bombastic moneymaker. You got those Hollywood Cole brothers stacking yards. You've got the boss and unfuckwittable. Those three have a chance to become bombastic moneymakers for 2 years in a row. This is Dynasty, baby. No perfect time to start your dynasty than at the very fucking beginning. That's what I'm talking about. And then you obviously have classy strippers, my co-commission crime, having an opportunity to at least be in the dance of passing through this. Holy smokes, having to pass through week 15. Uh, when you got Boombastic Moneymakers stacking yards, we got $350. We got the boss with $509. Unfuckwittable with $1,019. Griffey Cakes with the grand total of $2,038. These prizes will be the same. I can't control how in backdoor channel deals. I'm not a big fan of that stuff. I don't like it. But these are the facts. First place should have gotten this money. Second place should have gotten this money. I imagine that some people feel that splitting the pot. I kind of reminisce about poker. When you get to the final table and everybody's looking around, it's like, y'all want to split it? And I'd be like, fuck no, motherfucker, I ain't splitting shit. Come get it. Because it's part of the thrill, right? It's got to mean something. I'm trying to get first, second, or third, or nothing at all. You know what I mean? If you're gonna give me first prize money, y'all can split the fucking rest. That's how I feel. But who am I? I'm just a guy that hasn't never made the playoffs. And that's a perfect segue into our pissant section. Leading the charge, we've got disabled vigilantes that's never made the playoffs. Never even sniffed at the opportunity of making a little bread in this pride league. It's lonely down here at the bottom, but wait, it's not very lonely. You got redacted. ADP 1897. Also, no chance at the playoffs thus far. Dynasty Sage. No playoff berth so far. And you got them boys in Scranton so close yet so far away. No shot at playoff opportunities thus far. As always, next year, boys, I'm in this group myself. Nobody wants to be a pissant. Nobody wants to be a doormat. We are the leading teams for wanting to have the fucking rivals, right? The number 2 team, the person that gets second place this year gets to fuck with me. You know, I can't really argue that that's what they want. They want the money and they want to play me twice next year. That's like an added bonus. But I will be fucking you up next year. You can guarantee that. Your boy will be a relevant player next year and will just ask classy strippers, fucking up his chance at a bye. Who did that? Your boy. Just ask Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, who had, opportunities of galore. Who fucked up his chances at getting in the playoffs? That's your boy. Lose in the championship, you're gonna be doubly sad that you didn't get first. And then you look down and be like, holy shit, my rival's disabled vigilantes all of a sudden? Yeah, don't lose. Don't you fucking lose in the championship. Because I'm coming for that ass. That's playoff facts right there, right? So how do I see week 15 going, right? Agent Smith obviously going to be sitting back, popping the popcorn, looking at who's going to be the shittiest team to survive week 15 and be like, I got you, motherfucker. But Bull City going up against Classy Strippers. You got the Cinderella team, Bull City. Can he match up well with Classy Strippers? This is definitely a possibility. But I'm going to go with Classy Strippers. I think the consistency of that roster will eke out this victory from the hit or miss side of Bull City. But his boys are coming on strong at the right time. It's hard to dismiss the Week 14 fantasy stud. But I'm going with Classy Strippers in this. I think his players are better set up for success this week. Hollywood Cole Brothers going up against Unfuckwittable. No upset here. I'm going with Unfuckwittable. That Med squad is just interesting on how it just competes. Like they rise to the challenge. It's like he's got those guys on speed dial talking about, all right, we're gonna go up against Agent Smith this week. I kind of need some effort. We're going up against Classic Strippers today. I kind of need some effort, boys. So that's how that's been rolling. And then we've got Stacking Yards going up against the Boss. This is my upset. I have Stacking Yards. Don't disappoint me again. Stacking Yards going up against the Boss. I've got Stack. This is my upset. I gotta have at least one. So Stack wins, Unfuckwittable wins, and Classy Strippers gets the dub. And if that holds true, I want to say, having those, it's tough for me. I can't say that the Boss, Unfuckwittable, and Stacking Yards all have a chance at the money again. I'm gonna have to leave somebody out there in the cold. as Agent Smith will undoubtedly take Griffey Cake's place in that. I'm gonna say Stack gives himself an opportunity to become a bombastic moneymaker. That's just the way I see it. There's really no rhyme or reason except the first principles that boil down in my head. This is how I see it. Next, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays as we get closer and closer to the new year, 2023. It's amazing. Your boy's been on this earth damn near 40 years. It's kind of an interesting take. Starting to feel a little reminiscent, so to speak. But I'm sure we all go through this. Looking forward to the off season. I will definitely be more into this than last off season. I think struggling with wanting to participate, that has faded. Your boy will do everything in his power to no longer be a pissant down there at the bottom of the screen. So I don't know about you guys, ADP, Dynasty, Sage, Dunder Mifflin. I'm motivated. I mean, hell, I really liked what ADP and Sage and Dunder Mifflin did this year because last year they were kind of middling to bottom teams. They definitely crawled above me one, and then I kind of like that's very inspiring. Disabled vigilantes shall do the same. Best believe that. So, with that being said, the video is long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys. Good luck to everyone in the playoffs. I can safely say that. And you know, keep an eye out, guys. You're not in the playoffs, but next year, opportunity, and the year after that, golden opportunity to supplant any of the money makers. You know what I mean? But obviously, I'm fucking with on the Boston second yards. They're not gonna just lay down in year four. You're gonna have to come take it. So what can we say? We gotta be like the goats up there at the current money makers. So yeah, that's all I got. Peace.